I drew this really nice long equation for you to figure out, so let's get right to it.
Marketing Hack of the Day is brought to you by ClickX.
All right, so what is customer acquisition cost, right? It is the cost that you have to pay to acquire one new customer, all right? So essentially, CAC, customer acquisition cost, is MCC, that is total marketing campaign cost over the number of customers acquired, okay? That's what you're trying to get. You need to look at how many customers you acquired at the end of the month and figure out how much you spent in that marketing to get the customer acquisition cost. It's a very important number. I don't care you're a startup, you just started last year, or you've been in business for 50 years, you need to understand what does it cost you, and the more pieces of your puzzle, it actually creates a big confusion as to how much your customer acquisition cost is. Because if you have big marketing team, or you have big sales team, and you have huge marketing campaigns and software and overhead, people don't really have a good idea on what does it cost to acquire a new customer. So I really want to help it break down by giving you a slightly longer equation so you can work off of this and figure out your exact customer acquisition costs. You'll be much better off. You'll know when to invest more, when to cut back, and you'll know what's working, what's not working. All right, so same exact equation. I just added a couple more pieces to this. So for customer acquisition costs, you have your total marketing campaign cost, and the W is what represents the wages. That means that's the people part, right? The wages that are associated with marketing and sales. So you gotta remember, this is your marketing and your salespeople, okay? Because they're in the picture as well, because for you to acquire a new customer, maybe you're not just a marketing organization, you have 3 or 4 or 50 or 100 salespeople or 1,000 salespeople that need to work for you to acquire the customer. And the S, as the ClickX, we're a platform company and we understand that that's software. That is a software number. You need to understand how much is software costing you, which should be only a small fraction of your marketing budget, I hope, like peanuts, all right? 0.0001. So there's that cost of the software, and the PS is your professional services folks. Okay, so that is your agency, that is the copywriter, that is all the people that are involved in helping you deliver the marketing campaign. Maybe you don't have enough resources internally that you had to go get some professional services. And lastly, you have your O, that is your overhead. So you need to understand what part of your overhead goes to your marketing and salespeople. And that's the big O over here at the end, because at the end of the day, if I just give you MCC over CA, most people miss the sales and marketing people, which, like I said, you're gonna know how efficient your salespeople are by looking at this particular cost per acquisition. All right, so you need to make sure that the salespeople are part of the puzzle, salespeople understand that, and at the same time, marketing people feel like they're excluded from the cost per acquisition. They feel like it's only a salespeople's job. The salespeople gotta give me more deals. Marketing is just here doing some brand awareness. We got our email campaigns going. Everything's looking great. We got no new customers. Whose fault is that? Oh, it's the salespeople's fault. But technically, in the equation, marketing and salespeople are in it. All right. So at the end of the day, if you really want to know what it costs you, you need to make sure that your cost for your marketing salespeople, you need to make sure that you have your salespeople's salaries and all the wages and all the expenses that are related to that, and your marketing folks, and make sure that they're in the picture, and software. Similarly, you might have sales software, maybe you have marketing software, maybe you have additional analytics software, right? That's like I said, this is a very important part to measure your CAC, so you might need to invest in more and more software. I understand that. And professional services, you have to find out, are those people delivering value for you and your organization? That's where the professional services is. And finally, your overhead. So if you want to cut, you need to start cutting across the board. Because this particular number, if you actually do the math, you do the exercise, you go through this and you add everything up and you look at the cost per acquisition, you may have a heart attack. It's very possible because you might be overspending, right? This number is very critical to the long-term sustainability of your business. What is MCC over CA? It is the sum of all of your marketing and sales expenses over the number of net new customers you were able to bring to the organization. Now, this is different on a monthly basis because one customer might come in March, but you've been working on them since December. But I understand that you work on a quarterly basis, you're on a rolling quarterly basis. I understand all the metrics, they're all different, but at the end of the day, as the organization, from a finance department or the CEO's perspective, you need to understand that whether it takes 3 months to close a deal or it takes 3 days to close a deal, the number is the number is the number. All right, this is the number you need to work on. This decides whether or not you have a marketing budget. This will decide whether you need more marketing people or your salespeople. This will decide whether or not you need more software or professional services or even bringing on more resources internally to execute. It is all going to be dependent on this number. All right, so what does this number really give you? All right, this number will give you the efficiency of your marketing and sales department as a whole. If this number is really bad, that means that for every $100,000 that you invest, you're getting 10 new customers, probably not the most efficient thing that you got. All right. For maybe every 1 million that you spend, I'm going to add another 0, and you get 10 new customers. It costs you $100,000 to get 1 new customer. You need to really look at the people aspect of it. You got to look at your process, which is not just your sales process, but also your marketing process, and figure out how efficient your system is. You might have some inefficiencies, and I understand that it's okay to have that as long as you know that you have some inefficiencies, okay? You might have marketing campaigns, you're doing it for the sake of doing it because you think your competitors are gonna be in such and such trade show and you need to be there and you're just trying to outdo them, and it costs you tens and thousands of dollars in foolish mistakes because you just want to one up to your competition when you truly know that this is not working for you, this is actually working against your math. Okay, so it might be time to cut some costs, and maybe it's time to be more efficient. Look at what's working for you. That's one way to cut your costs, is to figure out what's working for you, right? Like in our head, that when we built ClickX platform, our job was to help companies find out what's working for them and to help them do more of it, right? And that's ultimately going to lower your cost per acquisition, because that's exactly what it's meant to do. It's meant to find out, is organic channel working for you? Is it a paid media that's working for you? Is it social media that's working for you? Is it direct mail? I don't know what works for you, but you need to do more of it, because that's how you're going to drastically lower your cost per acquisition. And the better this number is, the more exciting it is to run that business. Let me tell you, if you ever watch any single Shark Tank episode and you never watch another one, you'll know this question is very easy, right? You know this question comes up really fast. How much does it cost you to make such and such? How much does it cost you to bring a new customer? And when you have a company that has pre-revenue, they have no idea what it costs to bring a customer, they literally, every single one of them will say, I'm out of this deal. Every single one of the sharks will be out of that deal because they don't want to assume any numbers. They don't want to think that it's easier than what it is. They want to make sure that they know what it costs to acquire, so that as any investor or any marketer would want to do, they want to put $1 in, get $2 back, right? They want to invest $1 in. This is a hypothetical math, folks. It's not exactly. But the idea is that for every dollar that you put in, you're going to get $2 back. So if you put 10,000 in, you're going to get 20,000 back. If you put 100,000, you're going to get 200,000 back. Who wouldn't want that business? Right? That's the goal here, but at the end of the day, though, in your reality, it's not that easy. So I want you to do some math to figure out what it costs your marketing campaign, all the costs associated with it, divided by the total new customers you brought out. Do it on a weekly basis if you had to, and if you're obsessed, do it on a daily basis, but really figure out what does it cost to run that organization, sales organization, marketing organization, the overhead, the software, the outsourced people, right? The professional services, and figure out what is that? Is that making you more money? Are you in a position to invest more and know that there's a predictable revenue coming back for every dollar you invest into? If you don't have it, it's time to work on the process. It's time to work on the people part and figure out what can you do better, what tools do you need to have better visibility into what's working, and then invest more and more. Go double down on what's working. I'll be honest with you, if referral marketing is working for you, double down. If organic is working for you, double down. If trade shorts are not working for you, kill it. Forget about it. It is so last year. Decide that you're not going to invest into that because it's not helping our bottom line. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, you know what, Salman, and maybe it does cost $100,000 for a new client, but you don't know my lifetime value of the customer. If you know that, that's a separate video I want to make about lifetime value and how do you calculate that. If that's you, that's perfect. I'm happy for you because you actually have your math in place, right? You understand that maybe investing $100,000, you're going to get $1 million back, so you're only spending 10% of it, and that means that you're getting 10x the return. That's amazing. I'm happy for you. I wish everybody's in the same place as you are. It's not, right? The reality is most people have no clue what their customer acquisition cost is, and they wouldn't even know how to figure out their LTV or their lifetime value of a customer. So I want to help every single marketer out there understand that this is a huge piece of your puzzle. If this number is alarming for whatever reason for your organization, then you need to work on improving your conversion rate. conversion rate, not just the people that are filling out the form on your website, it's the people that actually filled out the contacts, you generate a contact to close rate. And if you're looking to find ways to lower your CAC or customer acquisition cost, then you might want to look into inbound marketing. Maybe your organization is doing some inbound marketing, but you need to look at ways to generate more leads that are looking for what you do, right? To bring down that customer acquisition cost, because it costs 10 times more money to go out and create interest for someone who's not interested than to help someone who is already interested in what you're looking for. Lastly, I just want to end with this. I want you to master these marketing techniques, the marketing metrics, the sales metrics, the ultimate metric being customer acquisition cost, and you will become a much better, wiser, brighter, smarter, more efficient marketing organization or sales organization, or just an overall organization, and you'll be much more profitable in the years to come, because the sooner you figure this stuff out, the more you'll be able to solve other challenges that may be facing your company. All right, I hope you got some insights. Thank you again for watching another edition of Marketing Hack of the Day.